Okay, so Lorraine, we're going to be looking at Unit 10478, and I'm going to be asking you a few questions that's working with others in the hair and beauty sector. So one of the things I'm really interested in hearing your view on is what you perceive as being the different ways of communication.
There's different ways of communicating with people. There's body language, there's eye contact,
Yeah.
there's, talking in a soft voice, not being aggressive. There's lots more, but I can't think of them all.
That's all right. Sometimes it's difficult though.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. All of those things are really important. And sometimes we have to adapt communication, don't we? So let's say, for example, if you had somebody come into the salon in the wheelchair, how could you adapt your methods of communication to help them and to support them?
Well, what I would do, I'd ask them, how can I support them? What way can I support them and make them feel comfortable?
Mm-hmm. So how could you do that in a communication sort of way?
I'll make sure that, well, obviously I should know that they're disabled before they're coming in.
Right.
So I'll make sure all their needs are met, and I'll make sure they're comfortable, and I'll make sure I've got enough space.
Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. Because if they could be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So what differences might there be if they're in a wheelchair in the salon?
Well, the difference will be, like, for example, if they wanted to go to the toilet, I'd have to make sure I've positioned her where it's near it, like to the toilet, near the door, say, for instance, and just...
So what about the chairs though? Because some salons have chairs fixed to the floor, don't they? Others they don't. So space-wise, basins, do you think, how could we...
Wash her hair.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never thought of that. I'm sorry, I've never ever thought of that.
No, it's absolutely fine. So thinking about it now, what
Yeah.
other ways could we do it if they were maybe in a wheelchair?
Or maybe we could wash her hair, like, over the sink.
Right, perfect. So instead of going back,
Backwards, go forwards.
yes,
Yeah.
you could do something. So it would be about adapting your environment, wouldn't it, to suit them? So the same, if you had somebody come in who was deaf, how could you adapt your communication technique to understand what they require?
I'd use a lot of eye contact,
Mhm.
and I'd try a lip read, and I'd use a lot of hand movement to try and explain to her what
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. Don't worry.
Sorry.
So what else does sometimes people bring in? So to get messages across, especially about hairstyles and things, what else could you use?
I'd get a booklet and show her different hairstyles, and let her have a little browse and see which one suits her.
Brilliant. So lots of kind of poking and
Yeah.
body language.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so what do you perceive to be the benefits of effective team working?
I think when you teamwork, you get the job done quicker and better.
Mhm. What else? Think of in a salon, if you've got a team working together.
Well, if you've got a better atmosphere, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah,
And everybody will be happy.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, if everybody's
Yeah.
happy who's there,
Yeah.
definitely. And what about support? Do you like having people that you can kind of talk to, or who you support, or who would support you if you needed it?
I try not to use the people I'm working with. I'd rather ask the staff. I'd ask the staff if, I've got the question.
The benefits of effective team working. So would you look to your staff to be supportive? Would it be that kind of environment, or would you be very kind of separate if you were in charge?
No, if I was in charge, I would be separate. But I think if people need support, they should go elsewhere, like have a counselling session or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. So, can you identify the effects of negative attitude and behaviour from one person within a team on the others in the team? What could occur?
Well, it will ripple into everybody's system and everything will go wrong. One bad apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So describe that in a little bit more detail for me.
Gossiping, for instance.
Right.
If somebody started gossiping and spreading rumours about somebody else, and you know, it'd be like Chinese whispers, and it would go around. And if it was something nasty, you could call it bullying.
Mm. Yeah. And so potentially, if clients overheard things like that, what might happen to the business?
The business might fail because they don't want that sort of thing. They want a nice atmosphere where they can feel comfortable, and maybe a little music in the background, and just get their hair done in and out.
Yeah.
That's what I want anyway.
So can you identify some roles and responsibilities of team members in a salon?
You get the manager.
Mm-hmm. What do they do?
The manager makes sure everything's sorted.
Mm-hmm.
The receptionist who will ask the clients their needs. The sweeper-upper.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
In some salons it's a junior, obviously.
Junior.
What would your normal sort of stylist or barber do? What would be their role? Would they book any appointments? Would they?
Yeah, they'd book the appointments, and they'd ask if the client's been there before, and they'd fill out a little form to see if their hair's been coloured, whether it's been dyed, what kind of treatment they can or cannot have.
Mm. So they would interact with the client?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does the receptionist do, did you say?
The receptionist will keep the appointments.
Right.
When they phone and make an appointment, the receptionist will,
Okay.
and probably greet them as well.
Okay, nice. So they'd come in and the receptionist would be there, and
Yeah.
so they'd see the same friendly face.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so at what point, potentially, would you have to refer problems outside? I mean, you mentioned about the counselling earlier.
Yeah.
If it was a staff member that was struggling emotionally, what other situations could occur where you'd have to get somebody in?
The client could be going. The client could be going through me.
If you were the manager
If I was a manager.
and something occurred in the
Yeah.
salon to which you had to get a professional involved, what might the situation be?
If there was a fight.
Absolutely. Who would you phone?
Or if there was anything going on in the salon that could disrupt the salon,
Hmm. So who would you call?
I'd call the manager.
Right. And if the manager wasn't there, what would be your next step, do you think?
What's underneath the manager?
There could be a senior.
Senior.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, next question. This is Unit 10344, which is presenting a professional image in the salon. So we've talked a little bit about the effects of negative behaviour and attitude in the salon. So alternatively, what would be the impact of positive attitudes and behaviours in the salon?
Positive attitudes, your personal hygiene, wear your uniform, have a friendly face, and body language, and just be a nice person, and maybe keep the client talking, you know, build up a rapport with the client.
Mhm. So if the client has a nice time with you, what might they do?
They'll come back.
Mhm. Which then would be what?
Dollars.
Yeah. So the business level,
Yeah.
would it get worse or would it get better?
Increase.
It would increase with
Yeah.
positive behaviour.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, obviously, if you had negative attitudes and behaviours, what would
The
happen?
salon would go down, it would get a bad name.
Yes.
And nobody will want to come there.
Right. So ideally, we're always, aren't we, looking for...
Yeah, a friendly atmosphere. And
Yeah. So if you were recruiting staff and it was your business, what sort of person do you think you'd be looking for?
I'd want someone consistent,
Mm-hmm.
who's good at keeping time, somebody presentable.
What does presentable mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Clean and tidy,
Mm.
proper personal hygiene. Don't want them coming in looking like a tramp. I wouldn't ask for much. I wouldn't just get there on time and to do your work. You know, I just wouldn't want them to be lazy.
Mm. Yeah. So input as much as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So how would you promote a professional image in the salon? I mean, you've mentioned a few, obviously,
Yeah.
a minute ago, but how else do you think, sort of, how could a salon be presented that would indicate it was professional?
Everybody would be happy with their hairdo. It would be, the atmosphere of the salon would be cheery and you get good business.
Mm. And what about the staff? Would you have everybody looking the same? Would they be different?
I'd have, not that I'm trying to cause a, but I would have the manager dress as she liked
Mhm.
and everybody else in uniform.
Oh, that's interesting. So, in your own life experience, and you've been into salons, I'm sure, what kind of salon have you been drawn to and why?
I've been drawn to salons with a nice vibe, nice
Mhm.
atmosphere. Everybody's happy, everybody's contented with their do,
Yeah.
you know. No fighting and no, it's just a happy atmosphere. I don't think I've ever been into a salon which is not like that.
Mm. So have the staff been in uniforms or different, or have you
They
kind of...
haven't actually.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, they haven't. They just wear what they like.
So your view of a professional salon, though, is that everybody looks the same?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm.
Did you know that before now?
No, it's since I come to college. I've been working in your salon, and I've noticed it's better when everybody wears a uniform. 'Cause some people might not be able to afford clothes.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we all look the same, then there's, you know, just keep your personal hygiene up,
Mm.
and who knows any different.
Yeah. So it's interesting you say about personal hygiene. How would you maintain personal hygiene? What's the best, simplest way to maintain good personal hygiene? What does it include?
Have a bath every night, wash your hair twice a week, clean clothes every day, brush your teeth every day. You got lovely white teeth.
Have I?
Yes. When you come in from the corridor, oh sorry. You're like, God, look at Sandy's teeth, they're white.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that they're white. That's so
Yeah, they're very
weird.
white.
So yes. Sorry, and did you say hair? I missed that last bit.
Well, what can I say? Because I'm a funky dread. So what can
But
I
it
say?
looks amazing.
Thank you.
It looks amazing. And actually, if everybody's in uniform, it is quite nice. Everybody's got different hair
Yeah.
because, of course, it brings the individuality.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So it's, yeah. would like uniform, I'm going to wear mine Friday.
Interesting. That's good though, that's great. Well, thank you very much indeed, I appreciate
you.
it.